Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is March 8th, 2021, and this is episode 223. Today we're going to take a look at Engine Ward. This is a Vault comic. This is 8 in the series at $3.99. And a real quick look at the cover. They've been doing this double-sided, I think, except for the very first cover, which had kind of a fight scene. But we've got the celestial Aquarius here, and she's introduced in this comic. She might have been in one of the other ones, actually, but I think this is the first time I've actually seen her speak at all. Let's take a look real quick to see who worked on this. Like I mentioned, this is a Vault comic. George Mann is the writer. Joe Eisman is the artist. Michael Garland is the colorist. And the lettering was done by Hassan Ostmain El-Hru. I believe I said that correct. Okay, just want to mention that the art in here has been getting better and better with each issue. I've really been enjoying that. The dialogue has gotten a little bit better. There was too many expletives in the first couple issues, and I think he's starting to pull back on those. I think if he left the expletives out completely, this could be a YA novel. Now he's also got a sub-narrative running along telling the tale of the ancient world, and it's a little distracting because they don't really give you enough information for each one. You think it's part of the narrative of the story, but it's not really matching the story that's going on at that moment. So I think it would have been better if you wanted to tell that as just one full sheet or two in one comic, but we'll get through it. I'm sure we'll get through it. So we start off, we get Aquarius here, and when she's underwater, everything she hears is backwards. I'm not sure why, but it's kind of a cool thing. But she's talking right now with Virgo, who's one of the other Celestials. All of them are based on the Zodiac, and they're kind of the bad guys of this whole group. We ended the last issue with Capricorn getting assassinated because he was trying to get more power. He tried to make an alliance with Virgo, but Virgo's got, I think, designs of her own. So she's dealing with Aquarius right now, and Aquarius doesn't believe that the death of Capricorn is by an uprising by the peasants or the town folk. She believes that it could be by one of the Celestials just trying to get a better foothold in the power struggle that's going on there. So Virgo kind of argues with her a little bit. We've got this other character here. I cannot remember which one, if that's Sagittarius. I don't think it's Sagittarius. I just can't think. Maybe it's Mars. But it's one of those. I can't remember who it is. But kind of an argument, and they're still investigating. So in the meantime, looks like Leo, there's Mars, and that might be Scorpio, are talking to the townspeople, letting them know that, hey, we're gonna, one of us was killed, and we're not going to put up with it, so we're going to cut your water rations and your food rations. And they're already down to like nothing. They're all starving to death as it is. And so Marl and I can't remember the other guy's name. It's driving me crazy. But they're in the crowd here listening, and one of the other guys kind of steps up, one of the town folks, saying, no, we're not going to put up with this. And he gets attacked by Leo's lion there, and he's killed. So Marl and the other guy, they call him the captain, I think, are trying to figure out what's going on. They think that we can take these Celestials down. The other one says no, but the other one says, Capricorn's dead, we can do it. They can be killed. Before they were thought to be immortal and invincible, but obviously with Capricorn dead, that is not the case. In the meantime, our group that's out looking for the Terran seed out in the wilderness, this is the seed that can repopulate the earth with the lush vegetation and bring water back and everything. They're in the frozen wastelands, and we've got Josh, who's the engine ward. We've got Ichabod, who's kind of the muscle, and we've got the droid, and Thracia, who's Josh's friend, who's also kind of like a muscle, I guess, the muscle. She's really, really large and good with weapons. So they're kind of freezing to death out here in the wilderness, and they use the ancient artifact head, who says he doesn't know which way to go for the seed, and they just say, well, let's keep moving. And the droid points out, hey, there's a lush patch of vegetation over there, and they discover that the seed is indeed over there, right in the middle of this pit here, as you can see it right down there. And there's this other structure that kind of fell out with it. It's some kind of activation device. So as they're looking at this seed, the other two had hung back while Thracia and Ichabod had hung back because they were kind of tired, and the droid and Josh found the seed on their own. So they're about to investigate further on it. They find out that it takes actual human being to activate the seed, and the human must give their life. And I'm assuming that they go in this contraption here. That's it's hard to see what it is to start the activation. Just then, the two Geminis come up, along with one of the captive, now one of their slaves. They've got these special headgear that makes them captive, and this happens to be Josh's father, and he's got the droid at gunpoint. So she's calling for her dad, but the father can't do anything. He's under the control of this mind control device, and she's begging for not to kill the droid, who's kind of a sarcastic friend. Really, he's kind of been fun throughout this whole story. Meanwhile, back in the town at the Celestial Pool, you can see Aquarius is taking a dip, and the words are backwards because that's how she hears it when she comes up. She gets a towel, which I think is kind of funny because she can make this towel soaking wet, you'd think. But they discuss their next plan, Virgo. And Aquarius still thinks that a Celestial pulled off the killing of Capricorn. In the meantime, there's a little bit of back and forth between the captors and the captives, and she's still pleading for her father not to pull the trigger. Gemini twins are telling him to go ahead and do it, and then we get the rest of the group getting pulled in. They've been captured too. One of the Geminis shoots Ichabod for no reason, so he is down on his leg. He's had a tough trip. He's got really ill as well on this trip to find this seed, and we've got Thracia trying to aid him in the meantime. At one point, it looks like they're going to shoot the robot, so Thracia makes a move to stop them, and she gets knocked out by one of the mind-controlled townspeople as well. So we got Thracia out, we got Ichabod wounded, and they've just shot the droid, and they've wandered off they're taking the Terran seed and the activation device back to the town, leaving Josh, a wounded Ichabod, and a knocked out Thracia and a broken droid behind to die in the wastelands, basically. So that's where they're leaving it right now. I'm not sure this is the next issue, the cover for the next issue. I'm not sure who this is supposed to be, if that's supposed to be Pisces or what, but we'll find out next time. But a pretty good story. I mean, it's been going pretty good. It's been a nice journey. They've been chased this whole time by the Gemini twins. No matter what kind of obstacles they put in their way, they seem to have gotten around them very quickly. So it's come together pretty well. I'm assuming that it'll probably be wrapping up at issue 10. Maybe it goes to issue 12. I don't know, but that is Engine Ward. So thanks for stopping by. This is a recommend, by the way. The whole series, you got to read the whole series. Picking up one of them is not going to do you much good. As always, please like, please subscribe if you haven't, and please leave comments. And we'll see you next time at the Temple of Tomes. As always, this is Indie Comics Jones bidding you adieu.